Hello again, and welcome. I'm going to give you an update on the situation in Brazil with coronavirus. I'll just wait a couple of minutes until the streams are definitely being broadcast. So I think we can probably get on with it. Yeah, they're both on. And so today, 22nd of March, Sunday, situation in Brazil is as follows: 1,201 confirmed cases and 18 deaths so far. So not much of a change actually from yesterday evening. And also there's not much in the way of additional measures. Obviously it's Sunday, so there are less announcements being made. Most people are resting and hopefully at home. But just to remind you what the situation is in the main cities in Brazil. So Sao Paulo is by far the worst affected by the virus, and then Rio. Sao Paulo has closed all its shops and businesses, non-essential services, and is planning to go into lockdown. That's the whole of the state of Sao Paulo, so more than 640 different municipal authorities. They're going to go into lockdown from Tuesday. Here in Rio, the city itself is in lockdown already, and that means that all non-essential shops and services are closed. People are being strongly advised to stay in, and there is no public transport being allowed into the city limits of Rio, other than the ferries across from Niterói and also some of the Supervia trains from Greater Rio and the Baixada Fluminense area. It's certainly probably been the quietest night I've ever had here. I live on a pretty busy road in the Zona Sul, and last night I couldn't hear any traffic for most of the night. There'd probably be a stream of people walking down in the direction of the beach today, midday, sunny day as well. Hardly anybody walking around. So the good thing is that people are heeding the advice to stay in and to try and contain the virus. And that's actually borne out by some data, a survey that was done by Datafolha, a surveying company. They asked about 1,500 Brazilians about different aspects of what is going on with the pandemic, and they found that 73% of people are in favor of staying at home and people being told to stay at home, advised to stay at home. Only 24% are against that measure. So it definitely seems like Brazil is taking it seriously. It's taking the message, accepting that we really do need to stay at home if we're going to contain the virus. Other places around Brazil that are also taking measures to contain the virus are Minas Gerais, where Belo Horizonte is the capital city. That sort of borders Sao Paulo and Rio, so it's down here in the southeast of the country. And in the northeast of the country, I know that in Recife, they are closing beaches, they've closed shops, businesses as well. Ceará, which is the state where you'll find Jericoacoara, which is a huge tourist spot as well. They've also closed shops and services and beaches as well. So the whole of Brazil really getting on board with this at the moment. Some good news and potentially bad news in some ways is that the health ministry announced that it will be receiving 5 million more testing kits. So that's good news in Brazil. It means, though, that we can probably expect that next week there'll be a surge in cases. Because of the lack of testing kits in Brazil, they've only been testing the very worst cases. So this figure of 1,200 confirmed cases, the reality is probably a lot worse. We'll know that for sure next week when these millions of testing kits arrive and when they start using them on less serious cases. Tomorrow then will be the next update. I'm going to do that at about 2 p.m. local time here. I've decided it probably doesn't I probably don't need to do 2 daily updates. Most of the tourists I am aware of have already managed to get home. Even those ones who had their flights cancelled, they have managed to get on to rescheduled flights. So as far as I'm aware, there is nobody left stuck here if they don't want to be stuck in Brazil. So now I'm going to be directing this broadcast more at people who were planning to come to Brazil, who have some kind of connection with the country but don't speak the language. There's so much information going on all around the world at the moment about different countries. It's really difficult to find out what's happening. And so I thought this would be useful for those people who've got that connection, as I say, with Brazil, had been planning trips maybe in the next month or two and want to see whether it's going to be possible or not. I have a feeling, though, that probably Brazil, like most of the rest of the world, is going to be in this situation for several months to come. But I will keep you updated. And also, as I say, I'm doing this just by myself, looking at the main websites here, watching the 24-hour news services on the TV as well. But if anybody's got any other information that they want to give me, please just get in touch and let me know. And in the meantime, look after yourselves and stay safe.